Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning for the Archarina ArcSign Webinar. We will be starting here in just a couple of moments. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar, Evolve Your Business with ArcSign by Archarina. Today's webinar will be hosted by Archarina in partnership with Cougar Mountain Software. My name is Jeremy Beislein, and I will be your host today. We were going to have Arthi Raj join us today, but she got pulled away to another appointment she had to go to, so her apologies for not being here. But we are excited to show you this great program that we have developed here. We've got a great agenda planned for you today, and hopefully you'll walk away with some key insights as to how the Archarina's electronic signature solution can help your company become more efficient. So I'm sure many of you are wondering, what even is Archarina? Oh, that's a great question. Archarina is actually a Sanskrit word that means less effort. The reason we chose this name is because it embodies everything we are trying to achieve with our technology for our users. Less effort. In today's increasingly digital world, the reality is that every department of every business, from the largest public conglomerates to the single owner operated small business, needs digital automation. Everything from accounting, HR, operations, sales, customer success, you name it. And the other reality is that unless you can spring for a large enterprise level software, these different departmental technologies are soiled. It's difficult and expensive to integrate multiple third-party solutions. So unless you have a significant budget and a lot of time to spend, it generally doesn't even tend to happen. That's a big issue and can have a tangible effect on a company's productivity and their bottom line. We created Archarina to address this struggle. Archarina's Arc Suite is intended to be an industry-agnostic one-stop shop for all business needs for a single company. Everything from accounting, HR, operations, sales, you name it. And it's all fully integrated at a cost-effective price point. Today, we'll be focusing solely in our e-signature tool, ArcSign. This is a deceptively simple tool. It's so easy to use, yet it has huge impact on your business and employees' productivity by automating something that is a necessity in every business, paperwork. The world today is evolving so rapidly. We've got space tourism, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, and yet many businesses are still stuck printing and mailing their paperwork and contracts manually for signatures. This is a big drain on employees' time, and it's very inefficient. This model is outdated and old-fashioned, and so instead, we have ArcSign to automate your paperwork flow. ArcSign is so easy to implement and use. It has an intuitive user interface, and it is so easy to use. It has an intuitive user interface. Apologies here, technical difficulties. Bear with me for just a moment here. ArcSign is so easy to implement and use. It has an intuitive user interface with drag and drop fields, read from deck. It also allows you to control every aspect of the workflow from the sequence of signatures to, again, technical difficulties. My apologies, guys. My control panel is acting up on me here. Okay, here we go. Trying to show you the right slide for what we're talking about here. So I do apologize here. Thank you for bearing with me here. So ArcSign allows you to control every aspect of your workflow, from the sequence of signatures, security features, and views. You can create robust workflows for up to 20 signing groups and over 100 signers. It can also be automated and integrated with templates and payment gateways, further streamlining the process to get your documents signed. It's customizable, flexible, and very intuitive to use. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into the ArcSign system, and hopefully I can get my computer to work better for me this time so that we can finish this demonstration efficiently, which is what we're all about here at Archarina. So thank you for bearing with me here today and for giving us the time to join us for this ArcSign demonstration that we are going to do here. Okay, so the ArcSign system is accessed through the Archarina portal here. And to access the system, you will be given a username and password like most other systems. So we'll go ahead and put in the username here. This username I'm using is Anita Letterback. I'm logging in under Anita Letterback today. Anita is the office manager for the demo company that we're talking about here. And enter the password here to get us into the system. So here I am, logging into the system. And the first thing you're going to see when this loads up here is the ArcSign dashboard. And remember, ArcSign is an efficient tool to help automate your paperwork, to get paperwork and documents executed and signed as needed, all done online right here with just a few clicks. So the first thing you see is the ArcSign homepage. The homepage is the dashboard. Now with ArcSign, when you set up documents, those documents are going to be added to the system to be sent out, then signed, or if the users you send them to, if the recipients do not sign them, they are declined instead. So we have the status of the different documents that I have in the system as seen on the dashboard. I've got 8 not signed, 2 sent, 2 that are signed. Sent means that they've been sent out but not signed yet. Not sent means they're created in the system ready to go, but there might be something I'm still working on with those documents, and so forth. Over to the left is the pie chart to indicate the status that each document has under the ratios they have for those different status types. And as you can see, I've got 8 that are not signed compared to the others. So that's my biggest chunk of my pie chart here. Not send, I meant, not signed, not sent. Then I've got 15% sent, 15 signed, and 8% one document that was declined. The archived section has 0 documents, so it doesn't show up in the pie chart. In the lower section, we have a list of all the transactions that have occurred with each document, listed out by date and what happened and who did those entries. So you can see that it keeps track of everything you've done. We have a document here that was created on July 19th called contract. End user license agreement on July 12th was deleted actually. So we have these different things that show you what happened and who did them to keep track of everything. As we can see down here, we had another user, not Anita Letterback, that signed a document. This was the document, and this was the user that signed that document on April 9th. So you can see the different users by their email address there in the history. So your home page, your dashboard, this is where it's at. You can set a date range to filter out or just list out the status types and how many documents you have within a certain date range. By default, I'm just using the entire year. All right, so let's look at the transaction page now. This is where all the action happens with ArcSign. So what you're going to see here first is you're going to see all of the documents listed out under the different status types. And you can take action on each of those documents. But it all starts up here with the new transaction. That's where it happens. When you create a new transaction, you can add a new document from scratch, just a document you have that you're going to send out to a recipient or multiple recipients for their signature. Or you can save a template, and we'll talk about templates here in just a moment, but you can create a new transaction from a template, which means your document has already been saved in the ArcSign system. So all you have to do is just open up a new transaction from a template, send it out to who it needs to be signed, to who needs to sign that document, and go from there without having to set it all up again as a new document here. Then you see the different status types here and how many documents we have under each one. Up here you have filter options to filter out so you don't see everything for all recipients within a date range. I can select specific recipients that I want to see in this not sent folder or in the sent folder as needed based on the filters, or I can filter it out by a specific document name if needed. So if you're dealing with hundreds of documents and you need to work on a document, you just search for that document name and it'll pop it right up on your list here. Under here, you can point to each one to show the recipients. There's 2 recipients for this document, and when you point to it, it shows those 2 recipients. There's 1 for this one, 2 for that one, and so forth. And then over here, you can take action. These are the documents that are not sent. So if I click this little send button, this little graphic here, it'll instantly send out this document to those recipients here for their signatures. If I click this button, setup, it takes me to the document setup. And I can go here and I can edit the setup before I send it. Maybe that's why it hasn't been sent yet. I'm still working on this document. And here it is, all ready to go. And that's the same screen you'll see when creating a new transaction, which we'll go through that in just a moment here. Or the last thing we have here is we can click on this and it gives you a few other options: preview, edit, or delete. We can delete this document if we decide we don't want to set it up. Preview or edit the document information itself. Edit basically who the recipient is, the name of the document, and so forth as needed. All right, so let's go through the process of setting up a new document. So we add new document. So when you're adding a new document, we're going to call this new end user license agreement. Purpose, end user license agreement. So basically you just fill in the information. The purpose is an optional field. You could leave that blank if you want, but it's nice to have information there for that. The document name is a required field. You cannot leave that blank. Then we're going to select the document from my computer here of what I want to use there. So I will grab, not that one, this folder here is where I want to go. And there is my end user license agreement. I'll go ahead and grab that one. We'll go ahead and use that for today's example. And that brings in the document here. Documents must be in PDF format. So keep that in mind. If you have an actual physical document that you need someone's signature on, just scan it in as a PDF and then you can upload it to this system. And so the document has now been saved successfully. Now it takes me to the actual document setup screen. So the first thing it's asking is, well, who is the recipient here? So I am going to actually put in my email address. See, I'm logged in as Anita Letterbox, so I'm going to put in my email, Jeremy's email address, so I can illustrate how that works. Oops, recipient name, Jeremy Beislein, and my email address. I am a systems trainer here, so that is my address. And I can also lock this document with a password if I select this little key to set the authentication, which requires the recipient to enter that password to access the document if you need to keep it secure when you're transmitting it online. If I want to add an additional recipient, I click Add Signer. It adds an additional recipient. I can even set up groups that I'm sending this to. So it'll send it to the first group, and then once they have signed or executed the document, the system sends it out to the next group for their signatures. If I put everybody in the first group up here, it'll send this document to each one of those users all at the same time. And then each one of those users just goes in and signs their document. But sometimes you need a signature on the document from the first group before the second group would sign it. So if you set it up as a second group, the second group will see that document with the first group's signatures on it first before they put their signatures on. That's the advantage of using groups. And you can add a third group and a fourth group, as many as you need. But for today's example, we'll keep it simple just to keep things going for us today. And we're going to go ahead and save the settings for that document. So here we have the recipient. Here is our document that we've uploaded. We can zoom in on this document if we want to see. That's our end user license agreement. And down here are the signature and title and date lines that we need. Signature's name, actual signature goes here, company, and this is just printed on the document itself. So what you'll do is over here to the right are the fields. The signature field needs to go right here. So we're going to just simply click and drag that field right there. Actually, no, it goes down here. Get it right here. There we go. So that's where our signature field. The signature name, please print, that's just simply a text field. So we'll grab that and select text. We can drag that out if we need to make it bigger, to fit the lines as needed. Or make it a little bit smaller here so it'll fit. The title is also a text field. So it's real easy to set up these documents. And if you're not as picky as I am, it would even be easier, just click and drag, but I'm so picky, I have to put everything in its place where it goes. So click and drag, and then another text document for the company. So the text is where they can type in their information. Signature is where they actually sign the document itself. So there we go. Now we've got all of our fields in place that will be used for the recipient in the ArcSign system so that they can go ahead and execute this document as needed. Now, if I click Save, that saves my document, but it saves my document in the Not Sent tab. But if I wanted to, I could have just simply clicked Send instead of Save that we saw there, and then it would instantly save it and send it so that it would be saved in the Sent tab instead of the Not Sent. But by clicking Save Only, it allows you to save it before sending it in case you want to view it. And here we have our document, August 19th. There it is. Now I can go here to edit that document if I need to, and it takes me right back to the screen we were on to set up a new transaction with my signature information. So now if I click Send, it'll send it to the recipient. And there we go. That document has now been sent. So if we go back to our transaction page, it's no longer in here as the new EULA. This one was done last month, so it's no longer in here. But notice Sent now has 3 documents. There it is. It's in the Sent folder, but it's not signed yet, and the recipient hasn't declined it yet. It's still sitting in here waiting for the recipient. So I, Anita Letterbach, has sent it out to Mr. Jeremy Beislein for his signature. So now I, Jeremy Beislein, I'm going to check my email. And there it is. If I open that email here, it pops up. Here is the email that was sent to me. This is from my Outlook email program. And look, Outlook is saying, do I need to show the pictures? Sure, I trust this. I need to go ahead and set this as a trusted recipient for me. So here we have my email. This is me, Jeremy Beislein, receiving a document from Anita Letterbach, has requested you to review and sign the transaction, new EULA. So all I have to do is click here to view. When I click here, it loads up the web page on me, Jeremy Beislein's computer. It loads up this document for me to look at directly from the ArcSign system. And I can, just like Anita, I can look at this, I can read through it, I can say, okay, does that look good to me? Yes or no? Read through it. Okay, it looks good. I'll go ahead and sign it. And title is Senior Trainer with Cougar Mountain Software. The date is today's date. Enter text. Cougar Mountain Software, an Athens Systems company in partnership with Archarina. And here's where I sign it. Now to do my signature, I've got a few options here. I can type in under a fancy signature font, which will be a legal signature in today's electronic sign world. So these documents signed electronically are just as legally binding as if you had actually signed them with a pen. Or if you've got a fancy little on-screen stylus, you can select draw and draw your signature in place. So I could even go ahead and do my actual signature if I need to. I'm not very good at doing it with the mouse, so I'll just make it up that way. Or if I had a saved image file of my signature, I could upload it. Now this is the recipient that has these options. So I'm going to go ahead and sign that, and there's my signature now. Signed right on the document. And now I just simply hit submit. If I hit save, it doesn't return it back to the sender, Anita Letterbach. She doesn't see it until I select submit. But you notice I have a declined option. If I didn't agree with this, I would just leave the fields blank, not sign it, and hit the decline button. But I am going to go ahead and sign it to illustrate what happens there. So when I click that button there, submit, it says you have done your part. An all signed copy will be shared with you once everyone has done their part. Well, and that's talking about the other users and the other groups that we send it to. And once everybody is done, once everybody has executed the document, then each person that received that document to sign will get a signed copy sent to them. Well, of course, since I was the only one that needed to sign it, guess what? I just got another email from ArcSign. I'll open that up, and there it is. All right, we're going to say add sender to saved list so that we don't have to worry about this not showing up. And so here it is. The new EULAD has been attached in the mail. Please save it for future reference. So here's my copy as the recipient. And I just open it up here, and it's a PDF, so it pops it up on my other screen in my Adobe Reader. And if I go to the bottom, you'll notice there's my signature, all filled out from the ArcSign system, ready to go. Very simple system to use. Now I have my copy. All right, now I'm going to switch roles again. I'm going back to Anita. So if I refresh the page, notice what this is going to do here. Now I only have 2 that are sent, but look, I have 3 that are signed. So if I click on the signed, there it is. Now I, Anita, am now receiving my copy of the signed document from Jeremy. Since he has now signed it, it's ready to go. So here I am, new EULA, there's the document. It was sent to one recipient and one recipient has signed it. That's what the 1/1 means. And it tells you who that recipient was. There we go. End user license agreement. So now I can view the document. When I view the document, it even has the signature on it now from Jeremy, ready to go. Or I can download the document as a PDF, and then it just saves it on my computer, Anita's computer, where I can go ahead and print it out as much as I need if I need to print a copy of it. But it is signed, it's a legal document now, ready to go. Once I have completed this document, once I've downloaded it, it will be marked as completed. And so all these documents that are signed will show up in this screen the more you do the signatures. And eventually you might want to start cleaning up the current document you're working on so you can now archive those documents if you'd like. But if I archive this document now that it's done, it takes it out of my current workspace and it moves it over here to my archived space. It's a separate folder, same options here. I can still view it, download it, or if I want to restore it back to the signed folder, I can click restore. So I can go ahead and also after you get so many documents here, you can select the ones you want to get rid of after so many months or years and delete them if you don't want to keep them anymore. There's also an option here in the archive to just empty the whole folder if you want. So that's how you use the ArcSign system. That is the full system from start to end, how it's used. One thing we didn't talk about yet though is the templates option. So the end user license agreement, that was a document that I had on my computer. We saw that. If I bring that up again, we saw that document here on my computer. And this is the document I uploaded to ArcSign to have it taken care of. And you notice when I go to the bottom, there's no signatures or anything here because this was the original document that I had uploaded to ArcSign. But what if this is a document that I need to send out regularly to multiple different people, different clients that I work with? And it's the same document. So do I have to upload it, then add the signature fields every time and set it all up every time? For one document, a one-time thing, it's real easy to do that. But how much easier would it be if I could do that once, save it as a template, and then I don't have to go through that setup ever again. All I have to do is create a new transaction from a template, enter the transaction information and recipients without having to set up all the fields and signature fields and the different signed signature lines, especially with multiple groups or multiple recipients. And then I can just instantly send it out. So in our templates, these are the templates. And look, I have the end user license agreement saved here as a template already. I could have used this template instead of created a whole new document like I did. So if I use template, or if I go here, it gives me some other options to preview, edit, or delete. But the template, what you'll notice here is it's my document, just like we saw. There it is. Zoom in so we can see it a little better. And it already has my fields all ready to go. So I don't have to click and drag and scroll them out and stretch them out to make it all work. It's all done. So this is ready. So I can just simply close my preview, click this button here, and enter a new transaction. Click OK. It'll ask me who the recipients are. New template, new from template, we'll call that. To illustrate templates. I mean, that's the real purpose for today's demo, right? So now it's going to load me to my setup page. But what's great about this is it's already done. It allows me to edit the setup. If I want to edit those signature fields, I can. But here is the template. It was set up to be sent out to two different groups of signers, a customer and a company rep. So if I'm like the office manager, I need to send this to the customer first. Once they've signed it, it gets kicked down here to the company rep, and then they sign it and it gets kicked back to me from my files. So I don't add a third group here. It just gets kicked back to me, which is Anita in this scenario, for Anita to save for the company copy, basically. And of course, the customer and company rep get a copy of it as well, once they have both signed. So then you enter the recipient's name for the customer, the recipient's name for the rep, and their email address. You can even implement security features here if needed. And then this is already set up, ready to go. But if I need to edit these fields, I still can at this point from the template. But typically the template, it's going to be set up for you, ready to go. And you just go ahead and use the same options we saw in the original document we created earlier. So with templates, it can even streamline your work more. Let me say that again. It can streamline your work even more. There you go, to get that done right. And that is the Archarina ArcSign system. Okay, so that completes the demonstration today. If you have any questions about today's demonstration, feel free to reach out to your account representative here at Cougar Mountain Software or the Archarina team as well. You can get more information at cougarmtn.com is the website. And it's been great having you guys all join me today. Take a closer look to this, just let us know and we can get you taken care of. The information is on your screen now. To contact us for more information, just send an email to info@archarina.io or go to www.archarina.io. You can also call us at 732-705-7771, or like I said, contact your Cougar Mountain account executive today. So again, thank you everybody. This has been fun showing this off. It is so easy and yet makes paperwork and running your business so much more efficient. So that just about wraps up our agenda for today. Thank you again for joining us and learning more about the ArcSign system. If you'd like more information, like I said, just reach out and we'll be happy to walk you through it. If you're interested in any of our other products in the Arc suite, keep your eyes peeled for more announcements and webinars. We will be in touch. Have a great day, everyone.